Baby, baby, baby.
What up, boy?
We are live, man. We are live. Oh,
in the building.
Boy, I'm so. Hey, Reg's in the building. I'm so happy to be chatting with you, brother. For those that don't know, I got the man here, Reg, representing Jam Patrol out of the Bay Area. Now, I know you're out and about in Vegas right now, but your history is back home here in the Bay Area. So what I want to do, though, is before we dive deep into your history, I want to show a little bit of clip. Just a little clip. And we could probably talk over this one.
Okay.
And tell me a little bit about this clip and tell me, what you remember about this. All right. Let me see. Am I sharing this with you right now? Is this
right now? I don't see it.
You don't see it right now. How about now?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Before I play it though, introduce the members here real quick.
So on my left, but
so you're sitting in the middle,
right? I'm in the middle. Okay. Double-edged Reg. Yeah. San Jose representation all day. To the left, if you're looking at the screen, to your left is Aiko Shirakawa, B-girl Aiko. She might not like us calling us that, but the girl been on and holding it down for a long time. And then the other member is my dude, Grady Turner, GT, quick kick in the building. Jam Patrol back in 2000. I want to say that was 2003 or 2013.
Yeah, it says 2003.
Yeah, 2003. It was when we first got back. I came back to California from being in the Army and back east.
Mm-hmm.
We got back together and started practicing and through 2 routines, mixed them together so they'll be long enough to do the show at Juneteenth in San Jose. That's Cesar Chavez Park.
Yes.
And man, that routine right there, Aiko, much props to her because, she wasn't deep in the popping like that. And we taught her Dean Barnes' part. Dean Barnes was one of the founding members of Jam Patrol.
Okay.
And then we blended some new stuff and created a lot of those parts you're seeing right now is kind of new stuff that we had added back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I love that. That was like us coming back. That was us trying to represent the old school San Jose style, as well as, just trying to get ourselves back relevant, because at the time, Aiko was busy helping keep the youth going, but it was no connection with her actual performance. Same thing with me. I was doing a lot of stuff with the youth, but I wasn't doing anything to keep myself active and dancing and stuff. So that was awesome, man. Yeah, that good old days right there. That's 17 years ago.
That's 17 years ago, bro. Oh man. Yeah. Now we gotta dig a little bit into your history. Okay. I wanna kind of pick your brain on how you got started and why you got started. And kind of just take us through the timeline, when you started, who influenced you and all that stuff, man.
Right. So originally I'm from Chicago. When I was in Chicago, roboting was popular. Soul Train originally was shot in Chicago. So you'd see.
Oh, was it really? I didn't know that.
You'd see a lot of the stuff that you see on Soul Train. There was a lot of people copying that in Chicago because they wanted to be on the show. So basically you see it on Saturday, and then the next weekend, everybody trying to do it outside in front of each other, showing off or whatnot. I was still young. I was only about 8 or 9 at that time. And we moved to Oakland, man. We moved to Oakland in 1975. And I moved into the East Oakland area, 88th and East San Pablo. I think that's now that's one thing. I'm 54 now, so bear with me on my exacts on names of streets and stuff like that.
All good.
But I know I lived on East 88th, and I lived near this. Actually, I moved to Berkeley first, but we was always in Oakland. Like all my family, my aunts, my uncles, everybody that was in California.
And real quick, what's up, Dennis? Reg, can you see on the chat?
Yeah, I
Dennis,
see it. What's
up, what's up, Dennis, baby? That's my brother right there too.
That's my guy. Yeah, he knows. Wherever we at, somehow he pops up.
Yeah.
He DJ'd a lot of events when we were first coming back on the scene.
Yeah,
he was one of the main DJs.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, I know. He ain't playing. I made a comment on his page not long ago. I try to go and communicate and stuff in there because that's one of the things too about this history. Yeah. Just getting it out while it's on my mind. I don't want to be 70, man, and can't recall this stuff. Right. So while I can, I try to share.
Right. And also, wait, before you continue, I just want to encourage the crowd. You know, we're here on Facebook as well as Twitch and YouTube. So all the audience members, if you're watching, if you have any comments, any questions, type it down and let us know. And when we have time, we're going to try to get to it. All right.
Right on.
So sorry about that, Reg. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, no, it's all good. This is what it's all about, man. And that's why I said before we started, you do one now, make it short and sweet. If they want more and they got more questions, we come back, do part 2. But I'm down for whatever, man. This is what this is what
J-Rock. What's up, J-Rock? We just did one yesterday too.
You must respect the history, man. So this is what I do. We try to get that information and bridge the gap. So as I was saying, moving from Chicago to Berkeley, California in 75, but being in and out of Oakland with my cousins and my auntie, and they lived in East Oakland. So I was going back and forth with them. Okay. And back then, we used to see all these different dance groups at the parks. So
which park you talking about?
In Berkeley.
Okay.
Berkeley and Oakland.
Okay.
And so just being in the neighborhood, there was parks around my neighborhood. And I would see these people again. Roboting was what I seen in Chicago. A little bit of locking started coming into perspective when I moved, but then I started seeing more locking when I came to California, and stepping. And stepping, even though it's 2 different versions, you got Chicago step, which is like the bop, as they would call it, the 2-step or the 8-count. Chicago stepping, and then you got the West Coast stepping, which was more routine, guys all together stepping together. In Chicago, it was like couples. You know? So, but I was familiar with that phrase, stepping. So when you familiar with something and somebody say they're going to be stepping at Alcatraz Park or they're going to be stepping at Lake Merritt, you know, we got all geeked up. And at 12 years old, mind you, I would get on the BART with like 2 or 3 of my friends, and we would go to Lake Merritt, or we would get on the BART and go to Pier 39. Like, I don't think nobody letting their 12-year-olds do that now.
Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore.
Back then, that's what we did. And it would take us whatever, an hour or so to get wherever we're going, but we would only be there 30 minutes. Get your butt back on BART and get home before it get dark. You know?
So when you went there, who was doing that? Who was doing that at that time?
Man, so who was going, or who was the steppers?
Who were the steppers and who was going too?
So here's where my brain, as far as remember the names, God forgive me, because I usually had this stuff on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
But when I first got to Berkeley, Derek and Company was known. I was starting to see them perform. Watch me jack them up. They ought to kick my butt when I think of their names. Not Gentlemen of Production yet. I hadn't seen them yet. I started seeing them also while I was in Berkeley and Oakland. But it was the Black Resurgence.
Okay.
They were like, for us, because we was hearing about them on the radio, the local radio, and you would see the little flyers posted on the light poles all through the neighborhood where they were performing.
Okay.
And they were the next level to like, you're about to be a star, right?
Right.
So Confunction, Daz Band.
Yo, Money B in the house. What's up, Money B?
What's going on, Money B? My brother right there, man. All the way back, San Jose, East Side, San Jose, represent. Right. We'll get to that part. Yeah, man. Seeing their name on a flyer that they were going to be opening up for these groups. So it was bands and different groups out there that they would open for. And we would sneak to see them. We weren't old enough to get in these events, but we could get to the park under the bleachers or wherever and see it and then leave. You know, we don't stay for the main act. We trying to see our homies, right?
There you go.
And so that's what turned me on to the group thing, seeing them step as a group, because I was used to seeing girl and boy stepping in partner style in Chicago. So that's what kind of turned me on to this group thing. Now I still wasn't thinking about popping or none of that. It was just as a group. Man, it'll be cool if my friend Damon and my friend Richard, these two cats always going with me to all these places. We should start a group.
Right.
But guess what? They weren't dancers.
They were down.
So
yeah.
They were always just trying to get into trouble, starting stuff. So
right.
But it was really cool to be able to see that kind of thing with a group of guys, 4 and 5 guys at a time. And that stayed with me because I've always wanted to be in a group of some sort.
Yeah. J-Rock just mentioned Hank Lopez. I think we're going to get to that part.
That's later. Yeah,
that's a little bit later. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
He actually named something too. So Step Up, that was my first time coming back. That was when I literally came back from the Army and moved in with Grady. And I was living with Grady probably 2 months. And you know how that went. Soon as we was home at the same time, we was trying to create.
Now tell me about that. I mean, when did you first meet Grady and what was that connection like?
So I moved to San Jose and I was visiting San Jose in 76.
Okay.
So my stepdad had a job out by IBM off Cottle Road in San Jose. So he would come up with his family or relatives out here. And on the weekends, if he had to work, we would come and visit San Jose.
You're talking about San Jose and Oakland, right?
Yeah, I was leaving Oakland, coming to San Jose visiting.
Okay.
And I would see, I had a couple of, really close friends that were dancers, but they were a little older than me. So we talking about Scotty Gauden, Joe Lampkin, Kenny
Speaking
Williams.
of Joe, just to let you know, he's my son's basketball coach.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, he's out here in Gilroy. He's out here in Gilroy.
He ain't playing, man. We actually interviewed him. Sticks, we re-interviewed Joe, and I don't know if Sticks still got that footage, but he really helped blend a lot of the information I had.
Okay. And
it made sense because he was pretty much in agreement with the stuff that I had made known before. So we'll holler at Joe because Joe was part of Snap Alone also.
Okay.
So I was visiting in 76, and then my mom and my stepdad decided to move to San Jose in 77.
Okay. 77. Okay.
And I ran into Grady like 79. And basically Grady was the OG kind of speak. So there's another guy named Dean Barnes. Dean Barnes was the third member of Jam Patrol. Myself, Grady Turner, and Dean Barnes.
Okay.
Me and Dean hooked up first.
Okay.
Dean, Scotty Gauden, Joe Lampkin. I'm forgetting one of the names. Travis Lampkin. I think he was in the group too. They were in a group called Chocolate City Buggers.
Okay.
So
I
would bug them every time I heard they were dancing somewhere. I'm like, dude, let me go out. again, I wasn't really a dancer. I just liked the group concept. Mm-hmm. So a couple of times they did Chocolate City +1.
Now, how old were you at this time?
I was 13. I was just turning 13.
What is that, high school or middle school?
Before high school. It was right before high school. I was going to Fisher. Fisher Elementary School.
Okay.
And so we hooked up with Grady in Sunnywood Apartments. Grady lived in Sunnywood and my sister lived in Sunnywood. So I would be going over my sister's house, hanging out with Dean in the rec center practicing. And Grady would be in the rec center doing martial arts. He was a martial artist, Taekwondo.
Okay.
And so he'd be in the mirror doing all these kicks and stuff all the time. And me and we'd be on the far end trying to put a routine together.
Okay. And, so wait, at that time, you guys didn't really know each other? You were just watching him doing martial arts?
He just lived in the apartments that my sister lived in.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were seeing each other all the time. For the summer, I would basically stay with my sister.
Okay.
So for the summer of '77, I was at my sister's apartment, and I would see Grady, and Dean lived over the bridge by Chuck E. Cheese. You know what Chuck E. Cheese is off Tully Road?
Yeah, Tully Road 101.
Yeah, Dean lived there, but he went to YB.
Okay.
So to get to YB, Yerba Buena High School. To get there, you'd have to walk through Sunnywood Apartments. That's how the shortcut.
I see.
Go through Sunnywood. So yeah, that's how we hooked up at Sunnywood Apartments. I really didn't meet Grady like person to person until like '79.
Okay. Now I'm gonna take you back to that day though. Can you remember what like the first exchange was like? Were you like, yo, I saw you practicing your kicks? What was the exchange like?
I remember distinctly what happened. So me and Dean, Chocolate City broke up. Dean was trying to figure out how he's going to start a group. I wanted to be in Chocolate City, but they broke up. So now I'm bugging Dean to tell Scotty and Joe I want to be in the group.
Right.
Well, they had other plans. They started 2 other groups, Snap Along and Street Poppers. But Dean wasn't really hanging out with them no more. So Dean and I started messing around doing the practices that I'm talking about. And as we're trying to make up our first routine, we got stuck on this one part. We was trying to do, it was like a tut type of, I remember distinctly, we're trying to put our arms, trying to do a tut. And it just don't look right with 2 people to us. And so that moment we look at Grady and we both think to each other, man, we should see if he want to dance with us. He be here every day and he lives here. So we can get in the rec center with him. And so that's what we asked him, yo, you mind getting down with us, man? He was like, I ain't no popper. I don't do that. I know how to lock.
Okay.
Like, what? And so he showed us some locking moves and stuff like that. Plus he did the kicks. He would do his kicks with it.
Right.
We was like, yo, we need you in our group so we can put some martial arts in our routine. And he was like, okay. So, katas, how you do a kata? We started doing tuts off of that. That's how we did our first routine. So
it was through Grady.
Yep. Grady made us have more discipline and direction. Because me and Dean was really good at sliding and all of that, but that's not a group move. Right. And I was really good at that time. I was good at robot and strobing, tick. Still not really a group move, but we was trying to formulate routines. But Grady helped us kind of get direction, plus be more disciplined. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nobody more focused than Grady that I know. He could go for 8 to 10 to 12 hours straight focused on we doing this routine for the talent show. And so we would be locked in. He would want us there every day after school, nonstop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was crazy. But I remember asking him that exact question, bro, you want to get down with us? We need some help with these routines.
I'm glad he said yes, man. That was cool.
Yeah, he was excited because he had been peeping us. You know, he saw us a few times. And he was like, yeah, he remembered some of the moves we did. So he had it in his head already that he was going to get down with us.
That's dope. All right. I wanna move forward. I want to move forward to when you met Aiko.
Okay, it was probably right around the same time. So Grady and Aiko were friends because of Aiko's brother. They did martial arts together, Grady and he. Mm-hmm. So after martial arts practice, Grady would probably be over in Rancho Verde apartments.
Okay.
And then after that, he would come home and be at Sunnywood. So once we became a group, we hadn't had our name yet. We were just trying to make the routines up. But we went from being at Sunnywood performing or practicing and practicing anywhere. We was practicing in Seven Trees. We was practicing in Verde, which at that time, people wasn't really allowed to just go from one neighborhood to the other, but we was cool with everybody. Aiko was cool with everybody. Grady was cool with everybody. Same thing with me. We really didn't have none of the beefs that was going on throughout the projects or apartments. A project is a Chicago statement. But,
okay, so when you said Seven Trees, these are apartment complexes,
right? Neighborhood apartments. So Sunnywood was McLaughlin and Tully.
Okay.
Seven Trees was over there by Capitol and Center Road. Verde was over there by Independence High School. Pensacola, which was really the first neighborhood I hung out in San Jose, that was over there, the opposite side of Tully Road by Chuck E. Cheese, but on the other side. And so those neighborhoods was where—
you see what Money B said? He said you couldn't get into the apartments unless you were battling.
Hey, straight up. So one of the things about that's what I mean by we were cool, right?
Right.
I remember if you walked up in Sunnywood or you walked up in Stonegate, which is another apartment complex, you better be a baller, you better be a gangster, or you better have some kind of appointment like you finna go battle. Straight up. If you didn't have that, you wasn't coming up in there. They wasn't letting you just come hang out. That wasn't what it was about. And at that time, I was probably 14. So I was just getting to high school. I went to Yerba Buena High School. So at that time. So yeah, he right about that. I remember having a beef with rest in peace, both of them, man. Wow. The Jones brothers, Chris Jones. Whoo, that's crazy. I just— now what they both died, man. Like within 2 years ago, they both passed away. Wow. Roger and Chris Jones. So those were my hookups inside Pensacola apartments.
Okay.
And I remember it was—
what did they do? Were they poppers?
They both could pop. Chris was more serious about it, I believe. Chris always said he could beat me. Like he was always, every time he saw me, even up to like 3 years ago when I saw him, he was like, man, you know I could always get you, bro. Like, whatever, bro. You ain't never really approached me to battle. That's the stuff. But yeah, dang, that was a crazy little moment right there because it just came back to me that they both passed away. So R.I.P. to Roger and Chris Jones, and much love to the Jones family. But they were like my passport into Pensacola because I knew them from earlier when I was like in the 6th grade. We were going to the same school. Chris was in the same grade as my sister, and Roger was about my age. So that was my passport into both Stonegate and Pensacola because I knew them.
This is so dope, man. All these names in the history, you know.
Yeah.
I love hearing this, but sometimes we get off track. I want to get back to Aiko. So what was that first moment like when you saw her? You're like, yo, you got down. What's going on?
So let me go on and tell the truth. So Aiko is about 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
And going with Grady and ending up at their house, I liked Aiko. Aiko was fine. You know, she could dance.
Yeah.
She was always smiling.
Yeah.
You know, every time we did like the skate rinks, Aloha skate rink, Cal skate, skate town, and you seen her, she was always G'd up like her outfit, and she could get down. She could dance.
Yeah.
So it was like automatic. I wanted to kick it with her because it's hard to find a female that was like into it like that.
Right.
So I had a crush on her first, you know. I never told Grady, you know, that was one of the things too. I never crossed that line, so to speak, because I was worried, you know, about everybody else tripping.
It might ruin the dynamics of things.
Yeah, but I saw her lock. I seen her locking moves and her club style dancing, and I was just like, she is dope.
Like, wow.
And at that time, was it the group y'all had together? Quick Style? Were you in Quick Style? Okay. No. So Quick Style was the group I heard she was in. But before she was in a group, I was always wanting to be her dance partner. Just like at the club or at the skate rink or something like that.
I see.
I saw her dance, and she is just like, she had that same vibe and feel that I had.
Yeah.
She was probably, if she wasn't 11, she was probably 12 at the time.
Yeah, she's definitely another historian that I got to get on and you know, do an interview on. But
I'll let her know for sure. I always tell her. I always try to. I was supposed to interview her, and things didn't work out. But definitely, she holds a lot of knowledge. Big time.
But now I wanna bring another name here, and I want you to tell me about your association with Gary Kendall. Now, a lot of people, if you don't know Gary Kendall, I would say his name because to me, he's incredible. Okay, he's G1. G1. He's the one that when Jabberwocky goes like this, that's him. All right.
Yeah. So when they point up and go down, they pointing up out of representation and respect for Gary Kendall.
So let's bring this back because I got a lot of people here that are very interested in hearing about G1, Gary Kendall. How did you first meet him? What was your thought? And, you know, bring us back, man.
So that story is kind of after Jam Patrol had went quiet for a little while.
Okay.
So I had a son already.
Okay.
I started focusing on trying to be responsible. I was trying to think of ways to make money and get my hustle on.
So how old are you at this time?
At that time, I was 18.
Okay.
18. Right. And in San Jose, again, over by Verdi, I forgot the name of the other apartments. I want to say they called Checkers, but somebody could verify it. It was across the street from Verdi and to the west. And two homies, they were brothers, James and John Amato. Rest in peace, James, my boy, my homie. Mm-hmm. They were trying to put a group together. And Tootie, do you know who Tootie is?
Yeah.
They were putting a group together.
Okay.
And I ran into those guys at Studio 47.
Okay.
And while we're there, I started hitting. I haven't popped or anything in probably 2 years.
Okay.
But I started getting off in the circle, right? We had the circle going, but they were all freestyling and some of them was breakdancing and all that. And I just went in strutting. You know, I started popping a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember they both had that look on their face that me and Dean had with Grady. That, we got to get him. So they came up to me and they said, man, we need to get you in our group. You know, we want you to be down with us.
Right.
So I got in the group. We started the group named Freestyle. As we were putting routines together, we were trying to do it in a business sense. We were trying to get recognition and go perform at different places. So as we're learning about these different events and stuff like that, they had an event in Seaside. I can't remember the name of Gary's group, but there was a group in Seaside that wanted to battle Freestyle. And at the time, they didn't know I was in the group, and they didn't know my other guy, Kenny, who is an acrobatic dude. He could do flips and stuff like that. They didn't know he was in the group.
Okay.
So we go to Seaside High School.
Yeah.
And it was time for the battle to go down, but it was like they were making sure everybody was there.
Right.
And so every place we went, James was the first one to hit the floor. He didn't care if it was nobody there. If it was music on, he was going. I was always the one waiting and watching. I wanted to see who was doing what. Because if it was anybody popping, I'm good. But if they all freestyling and breaking, I look like a nut trying to, pop against a breaker at that time.
Right.
Man, the crowd came out of nowhere. It was almost like a fight. Because to me, it went from being quiet on the set to all these people rushing in where we were at. And they made the little circle. And as we get in the circle going, everybody's whispering to this one guy. And he was dressed all like Michael Jackson almost. He had all black with white gloves and all this stuff. And, that's a popping attire. That's how we look when we pop it. But they're whispering to him. And then next thing you know, I see that guy put his arm like this and bring Gary into So that guy was Gary's brother.
Okay.
He was a popper. He brought
Ron.
Gary in, huh?
Ron? Is it Ron?
Ron, yes, Ron. Okay. See, I don't know all the names. He brings Gary into the circle, man, and it was almost instantaneously. He looks across and he sees James. He throws his hand up like that, and they go to the middle and shake hands. He was like, "What's up, man?" They was like, "I didn't know they was telling us to battle y'all." So he killed the battle. There was no battle.
Oh.
It ended up Gary, James, John, me, Kenny, we all just start going off. And after that, Gary was like, "I'm down with y'all." And that was it. Well, he ended up being in Freestyle from that day forward. So that was the first time I ever met Gary. Everybody said we look like brothers. We had the same smile, same build. So rest in peace, my dude.
Man, that's dope. That's
G1.
Dope. That's G1, baby. Oh, man. Like I said, man, I love all the stories. I love all the history, learning all that stuff, and, having it down. One of the things that we said earlier, we're going to try to keep this around 30 minutes. And I think I probably failed miserably.
Past that before anybody came in.
But it is all good. We'll definitely have to keep doing this. What I want to do now is move to some more questions. All right.
Right.
So the question is, let's think of some memories throughout your entire dance career. Think of a memory that you have that is, whether it's embarrassing or funny, whether you're performing or you're teaching or whatever, Can you think of something like that real quick and share with us?
You said funny, immediately I thought of this. Now, I gotta be real. Don't think I'm disrespecting anybody. I'm not anti this or anti that. This is in that time, this is how we responded to things. And
all right.
When you hear the story, you crack up. So again, Grady is a robot. That dude, he wants us to practice 24 hours a day. Like if we're up, we got to practice. That's just how he was. If you could come to my house, come over. So anytime you got free time, we got to be together. And sometimes, say I had a job, right? They would come up to my job and wait for my lunch break. Then we would practice. Or they would call me and tell me to come to their job because they work together. Dean and Grady work together. I would go up to their job, wait for their lunch break, and practice. That's how crazy it was. Well, this one day, it's a weekend. It's like a Friday. Dean lived over by Chuck E. Cheese, and we used to go to Chuck E. Cheese, like, kick it, play games, and all that.
Yeah.
But at this time, there's also our business manager / chauffeur, because he's the only one that had a car. This cat named Joe Sousa. And that's my guy to this day, man. But Joe would always get us to where we needed to go. You know, if we needed to go to San Francisco, boom. If we needed to go to Gilroy, boom. I mean, he was all right. Sacramento, bam. Well, we in the car, I think we were getting ready to take Grady home. I believe that's what we were doing because we was leaving Chuck E. Cheese, going over the overpass over 101 to Grady's. We're on we're in this little Vega, and we see it looked like we see some people hitchhiking, and they got long hair. I can't remember if they were wearing a skirt or shorts, but you can see their legs and all this stuff. This is embarrassing. And we said, hey, who is that over there? So instead of us getting on the freeway, we pulled over to the side of the freeway entrance. So we stopped, rolled the window down, and all of us almost simultaneously, hey, where y'all going? Like that, like we was going to give them a ride.
Right.
They turn around and you hear this. San Francisco. It was two dudes with long hair. We heard it out. Man, to this day, Joe has that on tape because we used to always record ourselves. Grady was a rapper. Me and Dean used to make beats with our hands and our mouth and stuff like that. So he was recording when that got recorded. Us asking them, where y'all going? It was embarrassing, bro. To this day. To this day.
So you guys had the film. You guys had the two hitchhikers from the back?
No, we would be doing cassette tape.
Oh, okay.
Record and play at the same time. Yeah, we wasn't. Video wasn't a popular thing yet.
Right.
It's not for us.
Yeah,
Too expensive.
Wow.
That's
so
crazy.
You guys went.
Yeah, we was out. I think she hit that Audi 5000 before it was ever even a such thing, bro. He was over a bypass.
Man, that's a good story. Thank you for sharing that one, man. I'm gonna remember that one. All right. Now let's move on to the other side. Let's say memories that you're most proud of, dance memories that you're most proud of, or something that's more significant to you. You probably have a lot.
Yeah, I got a few, man, but one right now, because we was looking at that footage earlier, it's making me think about that. So when I came back from the Army, I kind of lost my place with dancing. I wasn't really focused on any style, or like I wasn't thinking about popping. I wasn't even thinking about San Jose because I lived in Kentucky for like 8 years. Mm-hmm. I went to Korea. I went to Germany. I was in the war, so I wasn't thinking about San Jose, the dance scene.
Yeah.
And I came back and I decided to live with Grady. It gave me I was reinvigorated to represent San Jose. Mm-hmm. So Grady, he always wanted the group back together. So my Dean moved to Mississippi.
Okay.
So he hasn't been back since. So he always wanted the group back together. So when I moved with Grady was like insistent that we practice. So we was practicing putting routines. We would take parts of the 3-man and parts of the tut routine and parts of the martial arts routine, blend them all together. Mm-hmm. We hooked up with Aiko. We got in touch with her and asked her if she wanted. Actually, she had us come to her shows. She was doing different shows. The Step Up that they mentioned from look at me, man. I hate when I forget stuff. But the rec center, she would always have these. Hank Lopez. I should never forget Hank Lopez, man. If it wasn't for Hank Lopez, point blank, I wouldn't be doing nothing. Because before I went to high school, I was going to Hank Lopez. Mm-hmm. So she had us come out to Step Up. And at Step Up, that was my first time dancing in front of people in years. And Grady, at that time, when we left Step Up, Grady kept saying, next year, we're going to be in Juneteenth. So that was like the end of 2002. We started rehearsing and practicing, and we promised that we was going to dedicate Juneteenth performance to all the strutters and poppers that we knew. And so we ended up putting that routine together. It had a little bit of the Oakland swag in it. It had a lot of San Jose in it. It even had some stepping steps in it. Yeah. And it was basically like a salute to all the dance groups that we was ever around. And the last night before Juneteenth, me and Grady stayed up real late doing a recording of us saying, this is dedicated to Chocolate City Buggers, Poetrons, Playboys Incorporated, Rest in Peace, Playboy Rob. We did all of that. Like we had probably about 12, 13 groups called out. And then we topped it off by saying, rest in peace to Playboy Rob. And that was because we was back in San Jose, basically back to our roots and dancing at one of the first places we ever danced as a group, which was Juneteenth. So that's my, I'll never forget that. And I remember when we finished how I felt. I didn't care what anybody else was thinking. I just felt like I gave it all for my OGs and for the groups that weren't performing anymore. And you just watched part of the footage right now. And it just made me go through the same thoughts, when I saw that footage.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, let's talk about advice. Okay, a lot of people, rest in peace, Playboy Rob, right here.
Yeah, that's a whole... a whole, and y'all gotta forgive me too. I think with my age, I'm getting real sensitive, because I know some people right now that's sick and may not make it. And as I mentioned, Roger and Chris, it was like I was just with Chris, man, and somebody called me and told me that he passed away, and we were talking about Roger passing away when I was with Chris.
Right.
So it's just like, it's just crazy. So don't think I'm soft. I'll still bust you in your head. But Rob, man, that he means a lot to me too, because that was my era of coming up. So I don't mean to get off the point, but rest in peace, Playboy Rob.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about advice. As a dance influencer yourself, you're probably given a lot of dance advice as well. But I want to take you back to when you heard, advice that were given to you. What are some of the best advice that were either given to you or that you heard, that you think a lot of people should adhere by?
Man, you know what? It's funny. I just, I don't know if I posted it on Instagram yet, but it's a saying that I heard when I was like 9 and later in life when I was about 20. And then I just heard it again. And it was on this video that I posted on TikTok, but I think I need to post it on Instagram. What's up, Serge? My dude.
Our Serge, baby.
Yes, sir. And it's simple, man. The worst thing a dancer could do when dancing is to think. And I remember when I was 9, I was trying to learn how to tap dance, but I was thinking all the time. I was trying to think about what they told me, heel toe, light foot, I'm thinking about those things. So I was clumsy tap dance. Then when I was like 18, I remember us getting ready to do a show for Sheila E. And
Sheila E. You said Sheila E, right?
Yeah, my group Freestyle was hired by Sheila E. To perform. And I remember getting ready for that audition. What I told James, John, and Tootie, I was like, don't think about it. If you got to think about it, we need to stop right now. I want you to we got to just flow. The routine, we know it. We've been practicing it for months. Don't think about it. And we murdered it. We smashed it, man. And for that to be our audition to get with Sheila E., I never got to perform in the shows because I left to the Army. But James, John, and Tootie. They toured with her. They was at the Grammys with her, and they did that video Sex Symbol. And I think they did 2 or 3 videos with her. But that was it, you know? Like, if I could go back and change something, I probably wouldn't leave to the Army so early. I would wait. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that would have messed me up or not. But
okay. So the advice was basically,
that's the one thing.
Don't think too much. Don't think too much.
Don't think. The worst thing you could do is think. If you haven't practiced enough for it to be a natural flow, you doing yourself a disservice. You got to be able to go out there and just do it. That's why when you see groups that practice, then you see them together and it's like one unit. They didn't practice so much they don't think about it no more. Yeah, it's just automatically. It's one of the things I love about that. Me and Grady, we don't see each other for years. Like right now, I haven't seen Grady for at least 1.5 years. But I guarantee you, if I was in front of him, we could do 3 of our routines nonstop.
Because it's already built in.
It's from the 80s that stuff is in our head.
Yeah.
You know, but we practice like androids. You know what I mean? That's it.
That's great, man. That's exactly it. And I think it's important for, you know, a lot of dancers nowadays, you know, that are coming up. You got to hear this, you know. So having said that, now let's move over to the other side. What are some advice that you think are not so good? Maybe some of the bad advices that you heard, and share that with everybody.
So I'm gonna say this too. It's like I'm pulling stuff that's been on my mind recently. And since you asked this question, this is a statement I just made to my son. Don't be getting high before your performance.
All right.
I'm saying that because right now, in my day, somebody told me I should get high before a overfelt talent show. Okay. They thought I should get high. And first of all, it was no way I was doing it. But then second of all, if I had, Dean would have probably put me in a full Nelson, you know. But the dude that told me that, which I'm not going to state no names, he got high and got so lost in his routine when he was on stage. It was embarrassing. Like the group is looking at him like, yo, trying to get him to come back, you know, because he get out there on his solo and he just out there. That's just him. So right now with marijuana being legalized and everybody, I ain't mad at you for getting high. You know, you do your thing. But when it comes to this art, bro, don't let some type of influence outside of yourself be in control of you. Because drinking, drugs, marijuana, all of that, before you know it, you're going to be following that line and not what's up here. So I got to say that because that's something I just told my son. You know what I'm saying?
Great advice. Great advice. All right, man. I'm going to try to move to the next round. I'm going to call this the speed round or this or that. All right. So this is where you're going to just choose this one or that one. All right. And if you want to, if you feel like you have to explain why, go ahead and explain it. Sometimes maybe you can't. All right. And just know that there's no wrong answer. All right. Let's do this. Here we go.
Pancakes.
Let me start this. You got pancake already.
I see it.
I know. Pancake. All right. Pancakes for you, huh? Pancakes, waffle, pancakes. Yeah. All right. Funny or smart?
I'd rather be smart.
Rather be smart. All right. Yeah. Rhythm or balance?
Balance.
Balance. Passenger or driver? Driver. Motorcycle or bicycle?
Woo! I want a motorcycle. Motorcycle.
All right. Money or free time?
Free time.
Free time. Dine in or delivery?
Dang. Neither. I cook for myself, bro.
Oh, okay. Soup or sandwich?
Sandwich. I go sandwich.
All right.
Soup get cold.
Oh, yeah. Right. You make your own sandwich too?
Yep. Create my own versions.
Text or phone call?
Phone call.
Yeah, I think us older guys, it's just something about hearing the guy's voice, right? And
yeah, so like think about this. This past March, I wanted to get in touch with Chris Jones, and I called him. Wrong number. So I had to call somebody else to get the right number. If I had texted him,
right,
I would have just took it like he ain't even responding to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And come to fruition, I ended up getting to talk to him. We talked about things in the past and how we cool with each other and all that. And now he's gone. I'm glad I got to do that.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's move forward. Jackson 5, a new addition.
5, bro. Come on now. I'm OG for real. Michael's still holding it down, but the group Jackson 5,
right? I
love New Edition. Got to be on stage with them before, but Jackson 5.
That's right. Legends. They all legends, anyways. Woo! Taco burrito.
If I'm in San Jose, burrito.
Okay. Is there?
I don't trust any other places burritos.
Is there a restaurant that you always go to in San Jose?
There's a spot over by Chuck E. Cheese called El Grullo. It's off of it's right across the street from Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay. Right now, like San Jose, I think a lot of people go to La Vix. Have you been to that one?
Yeah, La Vix is off the hook. That was my after club spot.
There you go.
For years. I still take their sauce when I go out there.
It's always the sauce. It's always the sauce.
Don't forget the sauce.
Hey, we're not sponsored by La Vix, but La Vix, if you want to sponsor the show, hit me up.
Brought to you by La Victoria.
That's right. All right, moving forward. Here we go. Air or water? Air. Dog or cat?
Dog.
Basketball or football?
Football.
I know you represent the Raider Nation.
All day,
every day. Breaking or Beat Street?
Woo! Wee. Dang.
There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. So
I know, but okay.
Right.
Beat Street was my first visual of what we do on screen. So I pay homage to that.
Right.
But breaking actually had people we know getting down.
Okay.
So it's a 50-50.
50-50. All right. That's all right. That's all right. Moving forward. Sammy Davis Jr., Nicholas Brothers.
Dang. Sammy. Only because of the respect I have for him. But the Nicholas Brothers had me on. Remember, I wanted to be a tap dancer.
Right.
That's pretty serious. Right. But Sammy.
Yeah. Sammy does everything too. So
yeah, he's a performer. He's a Michael Jackson before Michael.
Yeah. I just saw a little documentary on that one. I don't know if it's Netflix. But
hey, they supposed to have it coming out. There's supposed to be a movie about it. Coming out about Sammy Davis.
Yeah. Definitely check out that documentary, and definitely when it comes out as well.
For sure.
Okay, moving forward. Here we go. Ooh, Prince or Michael?
Michael. Only because Michael got the dance skills, man. Prince, I love his music though.
Right. Well, Prince got basketball skills too, huh?
Huh?
Prince got basketball skills too.
Oh man, did you see the new thing by Vlad with Mickey Free?
Yeah, the Dave Chappelle.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Strength,
flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility. Yo, you got some of the most flexible joints out there.
Back in the day, man, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the hardest hitting, but I was real flexible, and I used it to your advantage, ability I could. I'm hurting nowadays because of that stuff.
But yeah, flexibility, I think is so underrated, I think.
Yeah, you could be strong and still not get the move because you too dang strong. Like you might do the move too hard, or you might land too. It's all kinds of reasons. But strength is good. Yeah. But I like flexibility.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Hot coffee every morning.
Every morning hot, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Mayo or mustard?
Ooh. Mustard.
On your sandwiches, right?
Yeah, and then I don't like mayo too much. Like I could put it on stuff, but gotta be limited.
Got it. In Sync or Backstreet Boys? I had to throw these ones in.
If I gotta pick one, I would say Backstreet Boys.
All right.
Hilarious.
Toilet paper over or under?
Roy, you've been on my TikTok page, huh? Just ask this question. I said basically, I don't care if it's under or over. Just put the damn thing on the roll. But over.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Lately, it's not even on the roll for me.
Yeah, you don't got none.
All right. Day or night?
I'm a night person.
Okay. Salsa or bachata?
Salsa.
Cardio or weights?
Cardio all day. I do that without thinking about it.
Tupac or Biggie?
Man, I'm biased. Tupac, I know the dude.
Right.
I knew him.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
To both of them. Rest in peace.
Right. West Coast over here.
All day.
Shop online or shop in store?
Woo. Online nowadays, I don't go to stores unless I have to.
True.
I do grocery shop and all that, but I make it real quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, we do that online sometimes.
So what about before the pandemic?
Yeah. So here's my situation is where I live now. I'm here in Las Vegas and I'm in a far north area. Mm-hmm. So it's not many stores around here. Mm-hmm. And when we do go, it'd be kind of crowded. So we do the online, we order it and then just go pick it up.
Yep. All right. Next, meat or veggie?
Recently, I'm almost vegan. My wife is almost vegan. So we lean to the only turkey and chicken, but I'm a carnivore, so let's say meat.
Yeah. How is it going vegan right now? I mean, how long have you been on it?
So, probably 5 years. And I went real hard like 5 years ago. Like I didn't want to touch meat. I got real sick eating a hamburger and we didn't know what made me sick. I was messed up. Lost a lot of weight behind that, and I ain't even gained that back yet. But it just was the smell of meat and the texture of beef. I couldn't do it for a long time. I think I went 10 years without it, and that was I wasn't vegan. I just wouldn't mess with beef. So yeah, it's cool. It's healthy. A lot of people that's around me that's vegan. They're very healthy. The only thing is I got a thing every now and then. The smell of bacon is seductive.
Yeah, get you out of bed, huh?
It's in a heartbeat. Coffee, popcorn, and bacon. I dare anybody to say they could resist all three.
Right. Okay, moving forward. Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
Blue or red?
Oh, man. I'm going black, silver and black, baby.
Silver black, yeah. Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Yeah. iOS or Android?
Android right now. I used to be iOS for years,
right?
But I made the switch and I ain't going back.
When did you switch? What was your last iOS?
My last, I actually tried the iPhone 11 Plus, and that's what made me know I'm Android. Okay. Because I had stopped using iPhone on the iPhone 3G. That was my last iPhone. But I bought an 11 Pro. Had it for like a month. And I sent that thing back and got my money back.
You're like, nope.
Yeah, I can't do what I like to do with it. So too restrictive.
All right. We're coming up at the end. Peanut butter or Nutella?
I tried Nutella, but peanut butter all day. Skippy, baby.
Right. Facebook or Instagram?
Recently, Instagram.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving forward. Music or podcast?
Can you see this right here? Hold on.
Let me see.
Let me see.
That's you.
That's me.
That's you. Music all the way, huh?
All day. I'm always trying to build.
Sick. All right, moving forward. Car or truck?
I'm bossing a heavy Chevy right now, so truck.
All right. Brother, we came to the end of that, man. Thank you so much,
that was
dude.
Dope. That was dope.
Fun.
That's a good change up too. I like that. I might have to take that from you. I'll do it a different way, but
right. Cool.
Yeah.
Good, man. Hey, we want to come to the end. But before we do that, I want to let people know how they could get a hold of you. And I think is Facebook a good way for people to get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you?
So Facebook is the easiest one. Plus, you could put that link up to my Double Edge Reg Facebook page. But on right Instagram, it's DJ Double Edge on Instagram. And then on TikTok, which I'm getting real heavy in on TikTok, is Double the King on TikTok.
All right. So I just have this is your Facebook.
That right there, you hit me, it's on my phone. So you gonna hit me right here. Bam.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, man, hey, and go follow me on YouTube too, because this type of stuff is on my YouTube. I got a couple of interviews again, not to really be shining too hard, but you must respect the history.
Yes.
Come and get at me, So I'm trying to do the same type of thing as far as getting with OGs and get their information so I could connect it to the next generation and bridge this gap, because that's what I'm all about. I've been trying to do it for years. It's a lot of people that's listening right now and watching that I'm trying to interview them. Some of them wanted to interview me, but I definitely want to interview them. And let me do this right now. I got to do this because my dude is still on. Money B, man, you know what it is, dog.
Yeah, no your YouTube page.
It's always some ups and downs. It's separation, division. But that dude right there, Money B, I give him mad love because when I came back and I did that step up event, he was there. Yeah. And that was back. I don't even know if he had the whole Playboys Incorporated really going yet. I'm not sure. But I know because of that continuous thing, they kept dance alive. So whenever somebody mentioned to me, they'll bring up like, so how long you been knowing Money B? Or I've been knowing Money B since like 79, 80, going in the same neighborhoods, running into the same people. We got so many connections from his perspective and mine. Even when we weren't cool, like we didn't know each other person to person, we knew these other cats that was cool with one of us.
Right.
And it's a bond like that. So forever and a day, man, I always throw it up. I always say Playboys Inc. because I got mad love for all of them. I've actually sat in on some sessions with them. I've been able to work with them on some routines, and I see their routines, man, and it makes me think of San Jose. So
that's right.
Mad love, my boy Power Surge. Kept Jam Patrol relevant, staying around and getting down. We used to DJ together for an organization and performing at his shows at the college,
Yeah.
So mad love, Jayhawk.
All the way live. Yeah.
Jayhawk, I see you, man. And whoever else is still on, much love. Always representing San Jose, always representing the Bay. I'm out here in Las Vegas kicking it with my boy Plick Clock, my boy Boogie Boy Floyd, and my dude Billy the Kid, and we make up a squad called Vegas Vibing.
Ooh.
All we doing is we trying to merge what we brought from the Bay to Vegas and get it back going, man. So if y'all ever in Vegas, hit me up, man, so y'all can come Vegas vibe with us.
For sure, for sure. Reg, man, it was such an honor and a pleasure to have you on this, man.
Right,
I learned so
man.
much, and for sure we're gonna have to do it again because there's so much history.
Oh man, we skipped so much of Oakland.
we did.
And it's all good. I said that. That's how you want to do it. You're not supposed to tell your whole story in one shot.
Right.
You're supposed to leave them wanting more.
Right. Well, I appreciate you again one more time. And again, everybody that's joining us, thank you for joining us. And next time, we're going to just drop some more knowledge.
Yes, sir. With one love. Shout out to my girl, Aiko. I'll be seeing you, girl. We're going to hook up when this pandemic is over.
Yep. All right, guys. And we are out.
Peace.